So just recently, Donald Trump dropped some massive news in this interview speaking to reporters saying this.
But the date that you gave is August 1st. Right. Why stick with the date if you're saying that
payments start on August 1st. The only thing that's really sacred about August 1st is that's when payments start. So they have to start paying billions of dollars to you and people. Are you a citizen of the country? Yes, all right, good. You'll be very happy because you're going to be getting a lot of money. Just like they found a budget surplus. We have a budget surplus of $25 billion. Everyone said, how did that happen? It hasn't happened in many years. It happened because of good management and tariffs.
So in this video, we're going to explain what he's talking about because a lot of people are commenting or wondering, does this have to do with more stimulus, similar to what happened back in 2020? And with the U.S. national debt over $37 trillion and the federal budget deficit over $2 trillion, well, back in March of 2020, when a $2.2 trillion economic stimulus bill was passed by Donald Trump, the altcoin market went from roughly $50 billion all the way up to over 1.5 to the inevitable top of $1.7 trillion. And what we're about to see happen to the altcoin market the rest of this year is going to be monumental. So we're going to get into the charts. We're going to play this clip from Ripple XRP MVP Tom Emmer, who bashed Gary Gensler, by the way. He didn't like the guy, so I like him. But he's explaining these three crypto bills with U.S. House voting today on legislation. What's happening right now with Google trends in crypto, the entire altcoin market absolutely exploding right now, what I said in my last few videos and what's taking place right now on the price chart for Bitcoin compared to altcoins, and a golden cross that just happened, and what that means for your favorite projects like XRP, and some major news that just took place for Ethereum. So stick all the way to the end of this video. This is going to absolutely blow your mind. Because what we've been saying for the past few years is finally happening, and if you are not positioned right, you could completely miss out before the end of the bull run. So comment 777 if you're feeling bullish, if you're feeling blessed, and if you're going to become the first millionaire in your family tree, confirm it by tapping the subscribe button. Let's run it. Hey, what's up, my friend? Nick here. Quick heads up for all you smart investors watching this. If you love to see your crypto actually working for you, earning passive income every single day on your coins, we're putting together something really cool. On July 20th, we're running our first ever free online event challenge. It's called the Crypto Passive Cash Flow Challenge. And it's basically 3 days where you'll learn our DeFi strategies we use to safely earn passive yield on our coins 24/7, even while we sleep. And some people are doing crazy numbers with this strategy alone. And if you had some coins that you're just holding on to, you should join us and discover how to put them to work. We've never done anything like this publicly before, and we probably won't ever do it again. So it's completely free, but we might have to limit spots to keep the quality high and give everyone proper attention with the size of our YouTube channel, over 360,000 subscribers now. So if you want in, just click the link below this video, grab your spot while you can, and now back to the video. All right, bull runners, welcome back to the channel. So Trump is saying that everyone's going to get a lot of money. Basically, he's meaning American people are going to see a lot of money come back into the country from tariffs. Real tariff revenue is starting to come in August 1st. And he's saying that the revenue from these tariffs will be so substantial, we can most likely eliminate the IRS. Listen to this.
And yeah, I have a real shot. We're taking in tremendous amounts of money. You saw that we had a $25 billion surplus last month.
Yeah.
And the tariffs haven't really started by comparison to what they will be. You know, we're doing them on cars right now, cars and steel mostly. But the other ones kick in on August 1st, and they're very substantial. And the answer is, yeah, I think there's a real shot. I actually say there's a shot at, you know, we have the Internal Revenue Service. We could use the External Revenue Service, and we wouldn't even need the Internal Revenue Service. But the money is very substantial. It's hundreds of billions of dollars.
So when you look at the U.S. federal tax revenue at $5 trillion and the U.S. federal spending at over $7 trillion, that's a $2 trillion deficit to make up. And the Doge clock isn't doing that. It only has $559 billion. So tariffs need to make up for a lot. And if the government were to do something like stimulus again, that would just further boost the U.S. national debt, further devaluing the dollar, and be even more bullish for the crypto market and bearish for those who just save dollars. So this week is crypto week, and here's these three crypto bills explained by Tom Emmer.
Well, there are three bills that we're going to be addressing today. One is a dollar-backed stablecoin bill called the Genius Act that came out of the Senate. This is a bill that literally is about exporting U.S. dollars all around the world. It may not be as big domestically to start with, although I think eventually it will be. But think about that cab driver down in Brazil who would love to do business in U.S. dollars, and right now he can't. But with a dollar-backed stablecoin, he'll be able to. This is about exporting U.S. dollars and solidifying the reserve currency status of the U.S. dollar. The other one is called the Clarity Act. This is a market structure bill. The problem we've had with getting new investment into this country is people don't know what regulator they're dealing with. They don't want to spend all kinds of legal fees fighting with the government over whether they're cash and they deal with the Treasury, whether they're a security and they deal with the SEC, or whether they are a commodity and deal with the CFTC. This gives clarity so people understand what they have to do business in this country. And then the last one, which is my bill I've been advocating for probably 5 or 6 years, is a prohibition of a central bank digital currency. Why is that important to our national security, Allison? Because for years, even Republicans years ago were saying, oh, we're falling behind the Chinese. They have the digital yuan. You know what they use that for? That is a surveillance tool. They surveil their citizens. They build social scores based on your purchases, your habits, etc. That is completely against any American value that we know of. And we've got to prevent our central government from ever creating this surveillance tool here in the United States of America. Very important bills.
So we're living in a society where we have the White House posting bald eagles with money falling everywhere, playing a Lil Wayne song, I Make It Rain. So I don't know who's behind this account. Maybe it's Barron Trump, but I like whoever's doing the marketing for the White House. And whoever's behind that QAnon account that posted back in 2018, well, conspiracy theorists have been linking it to Make It Rain post right here. And Butt Cheeks said there will be no golden age without a wealth transfer back to hardworking people that were torn from the middle class during COVID. Golden age equals a strong middle class. No golden age is the rich getting richer and the poor getting poorer. And so how did the rich get richer? Well, they invest into assets and industries that outpace inflation, and that's the crypto industry. Real estate's another one of those industries. However, the golden age for real estate was back in like the 60s, 70s, 80s, whereas now is not the time to be in real estate. Now's the time to be in crypto. Look at Google Trends right here. We are at 36 out of 100 from 2004 till present. We're not even close to the levels that we were at in May of 2021 or even December of 2024. So we're just starting to see the tip of the iceberg for what's going to be happening over the next few months for altcoins. And in my video one day ago, I talked about Bitcoin's pullback, and based on the divergence for many indicators, with 5 bullish divergences flashing here, the likely case scenario for Bitcoin was to range and then break out higher. And this is when Bitcoin was at $116,000. So roughly right around here. And as you guys can see, Bitcoin's broken out a little bit higher, and it's just ranging right now in this bull flag, forming lower highs and lower lows, similar to what happened for Total 2 right here from April to where we are right now, where I pointed this out in another video where we formed lower highs and lower lows in this bull flag before breaking to the upside. So I think what's coming next for Bitcoin is inevitable break to the upside. Now, whether we have a final low down here and then we break to the upside, or we start breaking to the upside right now, doesn't matter to me. Another dip for Bitcoin would just be another buying opportunity for the people that are still accumulating Bitcoin. But when you stick to the end of this video, you're going to see why altcoins are more bullish based on Bitcoin's dominance. So with this recent move in Total 2 right here from about $1.1 trillion to $1.4 trillion, that move for Bitcoin would bring it back into the $120,000 region. Similar to how Total 2 is rallying back up to the previous high of December of 2024, where Google Trends was up here at 53 out of 100. So right now, we're only at 36 out of 100 in terms of interest. So retail is just starting to come back into the market. And if you look at the stochastic RSI and the relative strength index for Bitcoin's price chart, you can see on the stochastic, we're at 83 and 79 for the D line and the K line. Well, when we were at those levels for Total 2, we were right here and also right up here. So that's why I say Bitcoin could either have another sell-off or we just start breaking out, because this is where we're at in the price chart for Total 2 for both of those moments on the stochastic RSI. So we'll just have to wait and see if Bitcoin's ready to break out now or if we just consolidate a little bit longer in this bull flag. But nonetheless, the future's looking bright and the inevitable cannot be stopped for what's coming, which is alt season. And when we look at the relative strength index for Bitcoin, it's at 51, the middle of the range, similar to where we're at right here or right here for Total 2 back in June last month or earlier this month before Total 2 broke out. And when we just look at the Total 2 price chart with the 50 and the 200 SMA, we can see that a golden cross is taking place right now. And the last time this happened, we pumped 72% to the upside for that December high, which was this rally right here that pushed us past the high from March of 2024. And so if we see something similar and Total 2 breaks out past the December high, well, then we would be rallying upwards of potentially $2 trillion, maybe $3 trillion. We'll see how high that pushes the altcoin market. But looking at Total 2, crypto total market cap excluding Bitcoin compared to Bitcoin's dominance, you can see when that breakout took place right here back in November, Bitcoin's dominance dropped from 60% down here to about 58% on this first initial breakout. When altcoins rallied from about $870 billion to $1.2 trillion, Bitcoin's dominance dropped 2% because that went into the top 10 altcoins and some of the mid caps and micro caps. And then the altcoin market just formed higher lows and higher highs, breaking out even further, while Bitcoin's dominance ranged, forming higher lows and higher highs to an inevitable peak right here about 61%. And then from this breakdown from 61% to 54% for Bitcoin's dominance at the bottom of the screen, that's when the altcoin market erupted past the previous high right here, broke through it, aggressively backtested it real quick, and then just flew to the upside in a matter of what looks like 9 days, over 25%. So $400 billion went into the market in like a week, while Bitcoin's dominance dropped 7 to 8%. So right now, what's happening? Well, we were below this major resistance of about $1.28 trillion ever since the beginning of February of this year. As you can see, this was a major support right here in January. We broke below it in February. We came back up to retest it middle of February. And we also retested it from the 13th of May until roughly the 12th of June. And now with us breaking above this resistance, this is absolutely massive because this is what happened all the way back here when Bitcoin's dominance broke down and then barely rallied up before dropping 8% while the altcoin market rallied 25%. So this initial move above this resistance right here reminds me of what took place back in November 2024. And the fact that we're still below about $1.65 trillion, which is the high of December, while Bitcoin's dominance, making this first initial breakdown tells me that we still have a lot further to go, because in the short term, we could experience a bounce for Bitcoin's dominance, similar to what happened right here if I just zoom in for you guys. Between the 9th of November of 2024 and the 15th of November, where Bitcoin's dominance rallied up, the altcoins pulled back, then Bitcoin's dominance dropped again, rallied up, formed the final high before breaking down. That was during this entire phase right here where the altcoin market was just forming higher lows and higher highs. And I think it could be pretty similar this time around. So what that would look like for Bitcoin's dominance at the bottom of the screen is as we come into this support right here, which is about 62%, maybe we see a bounce for Bitcoin's dominance. Maybe that puts us to a higher high and we do something like this to rally up closer to 70% before we finally break down, while the altcoin market just experiences massive volatility, forming higher highs and higher lows, doing something like this before we retest the previous high. Just flip-flopping between Bitcoin rallying as Bitcoin's dominance break out, and then on the pullback, altcoins rallying, then Bitcoin rallying, and then ultimate altcoins rallying on the major breakdown when we finally pass the previous high, inevitably the all-time high of November of 2021. We're still below that. And there's going to be a few key altcoins leading that charge. XRP is definitely one of them. I've been saying this for years, and as you can see here, XRP is up since the 22nd of June, over 70+%. So market cap doesn't really matter. It's all about liquidity and volume that comes in a matter of 24 hours, 48 hours, even a week or a month. As you see in 1 month, 71% is massive. And we're just getting started. We're right back here at the all-time high for XRP, and we can make an all-time high any day now for XRP. I was expecting for XRP to range a little bit longer, but this just shows how bullish institutions in Wales are on this project right here because of the expectations for the SEC lawsuit being dropped, XRP ETFs, Ripple's bank, these 3 bills, global liquidity, you name it. So if XRP pushes to an all-time high, there most likely will be some type of consolidation at some point because we don't just go up forever, as you guys can see, like right here during these aggressive breakouts, right here during these aggressive breakouts. At some point, there's some type of pullback taking place, which allows for a reset on these major indicators like the relative strength index, because when we were overbought right here at like 94 in December, we pulled back 30+% and the RSI came back closer to 50, while the stochastic reset all the way here below 20 as well too. So right now we're at 95 and 94. So although a lot of people are getting bullish about XRP, I'm actually getting a little bearish right now because the relative strength index is at 86, getting closer and closer to 90. So we're in overbought conditions on the daily right now for XRP. So there should be an aggressive pullback at some point, and we'll just see when that takes place, whether it takes place now or we push up to like $3.80, $4, maybe $5. We'll see how aggressive this move is. Then there'd be a major pullback and consolidation, which would allow for the stochastic RSI to reset back below 20 and the relative strength index to come back down closer to 50 or potentially below 50. So it doesn't matter what's happening on the price chart. That's why you guys want to look for confluence on these key indicators like this. Because if you're just buying into strength right here, and you're also buying into a resistance, that's how you get wrecked. Sure, if you buy in right now and XRP pushes higher, well then, congratulations, you're just getting lucky. You're not actually using a strategy there. You're using your emotions to buy because it's breaking out and you don't want to miss out. That's FOMO, fear of missing out. So here's what's happening right now. BlackRock just bought $500 million worth of Ethereum. They're going to be blaring Ethereum as the greatest investment in all of finance on their own social media here soon. So Alex Becker says the game's over. This will be the biggest bull run in history. And a former Goldman Sachs analyst, Dom Kwan, made a prediction at the beginning of the year that XRP would overtake Ethereum as the second most valuable cryptocurrency, reclaiming its rightful spot. Because back in the 2017 bull run, for you OGs watching the channel, you guys know that XRP was actually number 2 behind Bitcoin during that insane rally above $3. And importantly to note, XRP's market cap of $166 billion would need to increase by only 125% to match Ethereum's market value of $374 billion. So right now, Ethereum's market cap is $412 billion and XRP's is $194 billion. That's just a little above a 2x for market cap for XRP, which actually isn't that much money, as you guys can see what can happen in 7 days with 31% rally for XRP. XRP could flip Ethereum in like a week or less. It's just a matter of how much liquidity flows in. It's kind of like what happened with Ethereum versus Bitcoin, with Bitcoin pulling back and Ethereum pumping. It's just a liquidity rotation. And this article right here making this prediction from the former Goldman Sachs analyst, February 3rd, is saying that regulatory changes would be the tailwind for XRP. Because under former SEC Chair Gary Gensler, he was waging war against the cryptocurrency industry. Not just the industry, Ripple and XRP. So all attention right now is on XRP with this lawsuit finally being finished, and a comprehensive and clear regulatory framework for crypto assets, which the House has been voting on this week. So this is why XRP is pumping into this news right now. And also XRP was added to the altcoin stockpile that Trump announced back in January. Banks can now custody crypto, you name it. So for those of you guys that have been watching the channel for a while and have been listening, well, I just want to say congratulations. I know it wasn't easy to hold XRP for that long, but this is just the start for you guys. And I still think Ethereum will do very well as well too, because as I talked about in my previous videos, we just broke this major downtrend and we're experiencing a trend reversal right now with a higher high than these highs right here from the 15th of May and the 14th of June. And we experienced a higher low right here than the low from the 25th of April. So as Ethereum starts outperforming Bitcoin, even on a pullback right here, I still think this would be a major uptrend for Ethereum because of this new recent higher high. Now, how high will this uptrend go for Ethereum before we experience a bigger pullback? I don't know. Nobody knows. But when you experience a trend reversal like this, the trend is your friend. You just have to follow the trend until it breaks. We don't do guesswork here. We use actual technical analysis. And if you want to learn how to do technical analysis and read charts, then inside of Altcoin Pro University through the link below under Classroom, scroll down, click Technical Analysis Essentials after this video, and run through all of these lessons right here. I believe there's 28 plus lessons breaking down everything that you need to know. This is the perfect place to start if you're a beginner or intermediate trader and investor that wants to learn more about technical analysis rather than just watching news. If you want to gain a competitive edge, technical analysis is how you do it. And look at this, XRP just defeated Uber in market cap and is coming after AT&T now. It's only a few $1 billion off. Plus, if BlackRock is bullish on Ethereum, they're inevitably going to be bullish on XRP because it's right behind Ethereum. It'd be stupid for them not to. In a previous video, Larry Fink said he can't talk about an XRP ETF because he's legally bound by NDAs. So BlackRock just filed for an Ethereum ETF staking right here with the NASDAQ, releasing this document saying they're filing with the SEC a proposal to amend the iShares Ethereum Trust shares, of which were approved by the commission to list and trade on the exchange pursuant to the NASDAQ rules to permit staking of Ethereum held by the trust, because BlackRock knows that their wealthier clients want to earn passive yield. However, the yield that they're most likely going to offer is going to be relatively low compared to certain DeFi protocols. For example, even Coinbase, you look at Ethereum right here, well, 30% staked, 70% they say is unstaked, and they say you can earn up to 1.98% APY. That doesn't even beat inflation. So some investors would take advantage of this, but there's way better ways for you guys to earn passive income on your crypto without needing to sell your coins or lose sleep over volatility. And so what we're doing July 20th through the 22nd is hosting 3 live events to show you how to safely turn your HODL portfolio into passive daily cash flow, no matter the market conditions. We're going to show you our research team's exact DeFi system used to beat traditional market returns like BlackRock, the big hedge funds, the institutions and the banks without needing to watch charts all day. So if you click the link in the description below, it'll be the first link. You guys can go to this page, get your free ticket for the event. While the tickets are still available, the first event is going to be July 20th, actually at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the VIP roundtable. You'll learn about that on the other side. But for the general tickets, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the 20th, 21st, and 22nd. I look forward to seeing you guys there. And as the altcoin market rallies, if you guys want to know what are the top projects and the best narratives in crypto to properly position yourself in, then our research team will share those with you inside of Altcoin Pro University. For example, Our research team posted GOAT on the 13th of October of 2024 when it was right at a penny, and since then it rallied to over $1, 5,000%. That's like turning $1,000 into over $50,000. Our team called Pendle at only a $16 million market cap, or 16 cents, back on February 18th of 2023, all the way back here, and since then it's rallied up over 4,000%. That's a 40x. It's like turning $1,000 into over $40,000. Our team also called BitTensor Tau September 15th, 2022, before the token was ever even launched. And since then, Tau has rallied over 2,000%. That's a 20x. Our team even said Solana is most likely to be one of the easiest trades next year, and this was posted December 29th, 2022, on the day that Solana bottomed out at around $8. And since then, Solana looks like it's up over 2,500%. That's a 25x. It's like turning $1,000 into over $25,000. The list goes on and on and on. Our team called Sui, Ondo, and even some of the biggest cult-based meme coins like MOG back in July 20th of 2023, the day that MOG launched. So if you want to learn how our team is finding these altcoins before they explode, we just launched Altcoin Pro University, where our research team gives you real-time altcoin picks with explosive potential for this bull run, along with 100+ expert curated classes crafted by industry experts to discover these gems yourself, on top of our live weekly calls every single week for in-depth crypto market analysis and daily updates. And that's just a fraction of what we offer inside of Altcoin Pro University through the link below. And although we make no guarantees because crypto is definitely risky, guys, this is only $97 a month or $970 a year. If you want to save $194, getting 2 months for free and unlock some exclusive bonuses, just go through the link in the description below. Get in right now. Watch the 26-minute video covering everything that Altcoin Pro University offers to help you become the first millionaire in your family tree, if that's a goal of yours. And you can get started through the link in the description below right now, or you can go to bullrunners.com to take advantage of the bonuses we're giving you before they expire. Everyone is loving the community. They're loving the education. They're getting access to real-time altcoin picks first before we ever make videos about them. So click the link in the description below, watch the video, and I'll see you on the inside.